world changes soon. Can get a doobie on a plane, but there's Uzis in our schools. Every dude who touched a boob or a booty getting me tooed. What you expect from the kids who went to Hooters after school? We're all triggered and defensive. We're all racist and we're sexist. We all grew up watching South Park. How are we offended? Now being fat is beautiful. Name a thing that you can't do. Jumping jacks, run a mile, live past 42. Man, it used to be cool to just flip a bird to the system, and now it's trendy to be triggered and pretend you're a victim.
Welcome to the Red Pill Sports and Entertainment Show. I am your host, Albert Apache, and as usual, brought to you by Open Source, Self-Defense, Fitness, and Grappling. Okay, guys, I know I took a little bit of time off in the last week or so. Sorry about that. I was licking my wounds from the abysmal playoff performance of my Dallas Cowboys. Particularly saddening because it was the only game I missed on my wild card weekend predictions. So, pretty sad for me. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to do a 4-part series of Dak Prescott review. Essentially, we're going to evaluate Dak Prescott, talk about what the Cowboys need to do to make Dak Prescott a winning quarterback or a Super Bowl winning quarterback, whether or not Jerry Jones will do what he should do to make Dak Prescott a Super Bowl winning quarterback, and then my idea on whether or not or what we should be doing with Dak Prescott. Okay, guys, so let's go ahead and start talking about the evaluation of Dak Prescott. First and foremost, let me acknowledge the fact that I may be biased. I am a huge Tony Romo fan. I've always felt that Tony Romo never really got a fair shake by Jerry Jones. I don't think that he was surrounded with the right type of players, defense in particular, offensive linemen, and Jerry Jones was much more interested in running the Cowboys as a business, still is, than in winning a Super Bowl. But that's just my personal opinion. So my analysis may be biased. That being said, I thought it only fair to put it out there before I started talking about my evaluation of Dak Prescott. So how I got here was by considering the idea of whether or not it was time to move on or let go of Dak Prescott. I know that time flies, and it may surprise many of us to realize that with the wrap-up of this 2021 season, it makes 6 years Dakota Prescott has been in the league. 6 years, my friend. That is more than enough time to evaluate a quarterback. 6 years of data, and we'll maybe go ahead and say 5. Maybe we'll go ahead and cut it down to 5 since he did suffer a season-ending injury in which he only played 5 games. That being said, 5 games is about a quarter of the season, so I think it should be somewhat included. And let's just take a look at what Dak has done in the past 6 seasons. So in 6 seasons, Dak has had 3 playoff appearances, and in those playoff appearances, he has a record of 1-3. So he's lost 3 playoff games and won 1. In the words of Bill Parcells, you are what your record says you are. You are a 1-3 quarterback in the playoffs, Dak Prescott. That's what he is, and there's no getting around it. Now let's look at some of his notable seasons. Let's say 2021, this past season. He went 1-5 against playoff teams. That's including the playoff game. 1-5, folks. He went 1-5 against playoff teams. So even if you just look at the regular season, he went 1-4. In 2019, he went 1-6 against playoff teams. And in 2018, which I think you could arguably say is his best season, he went 4-4 against playoff teams, including the playoff games. Okay, so otherwise he went roughly 3-3. And this is why I think it was his best season. He was 500 in his best season against playoff teams. Overall, Dak is really an above average quarterback, and that's about it. He beats the teams that he should when his team is more talented, but he struggles against playoff caliber teams. And I think it's really hard to say otherwise. If you look at his record against playoff teams throughout his career, I really feel like it's hard to deny the fact that essentially Dak is above average. He's really outstanding at beating up and punching down against lesser opponents, but he struggles when the team is a solid team. He is a Trent Dilfer, a Brad Johnson, a Nick Foles. That's who Dakota Prescott is. And before anybody kind of gets a little bit defensive about that, keep in mind that I just named 3 quarterbacks that have achieved more success than Dak Prescott in the league. Each one of those quarterbacks has won a Super Bowl. So essentially, he needs to think about what he needs to do to win a Super Bowl. I think that Dak, very much like those other quarterbacks, indicates that the path for him to be a Super Bowl or a playoff success is to surround him with a strong running game, a very good and reliable special teams, and the major key, a dominant defense. Dak has really demonstrated throughout his career that he's not going to carry a team into playoff success. He doesn't make average wide receivers look like all pros. He is not a force multiplier. In fact, I think you could make the argument that he needs good wide receivers and good talent, even maybe excellent talent around him to look really good. And this is fine. I mean, it's okay that he is just an above average quarterback and that he needs very good, if not great, role players or excellent role players to succeed. As I listed, some of those quarterbacks have gone on to win Super Bowls. But they aren't superstar, run and gun, gun-slinging quarterbacks. So that brings us to the question. Do the Cowboys move on? Or what do they have to do to win with Dak Prescott? And will Jerry Jones do what is needed to win Super Bowl games, Super Bowl titles with Dakota Prescott? Okay, guys, so that's the end of part 1. We will discuss a little bit more about what Jerry Jones needs to do in order to make the Cowboys a Super Bowl run type of team. And then we'll talk about whether or not Jerry Jones will do that. And then lastly, what I would do if I were in the shoes of Jerry Jones. Okay, thank you very much for listening. Please like, subscribe, comment whether you agree, you disagree, or if you think I missed something. I appreciate it. I try to interact with every single comment, every single thing that I can. Remember, the goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers by July 4th, so I'd appreciate your help with that. And that is all I got, guys. Thank you for listening. Remember, till next time, be practical, be purposeful, get fit with a purpose, guys.
Went to Hooters after school. We're all triggered and defensive. We're all racist and we're sexist. We all grew up watching South Park. How are we offended? Now being fat is beautiful. Name a thing that you can't do. Jumping jacks, run a mile, live past 42. Man, it used to be cool to just flip a bird to the system, and now it's trendy to be triggered and pretend you're a victim. It's my race, it's my weight, it's because I'm a Christian. I hate the internet and anyone who has an opinion. And everybody angry if you say white. Okay, fine. Pass me the brush and I'll paint my face to the shades right. Let's talk about abortion. Sorry, tell me how this works. Bacteria is life on Mars, but a heartbeat isn't life on Earth? Weird. People are so stupid.